All right, so today we are going to learn the correct way to do some printmaking as shown on this one with the check mark. And we are going to learn what not to do as shown on the one with the X. Keep an eye out for that. So first, the thing that we need to do is to plan. Yes, plan. Planning is so important. For planning, you are just going to draw out an idea that you think you might want to create. This doesn't have to look perfect, and it does not have to look like your end product. For my idea, I started with maybe an underwater scene, and then I thought, maybe I want to do something else instead. So I drew out a second idea. This one is a beautiful view of the mountains, trees, and a river with a lovely sunset in the background. I looked at my ideas and I chose which one I wanted to do. Which one am I going with? The mountains. So next I pull out my special styrofoam and I start to draw. Notice I am using my pen and I am going very slowly, making sure that each of the lines that I make is exactly where I want it to be. Now, occasionally I might mess up. Oh no, should I throw it away? Not today. What I need to do is take that mistake and see if I can make it into my artwork. Maybe I didn't plan on having a tree like that, but I have an opportunity to make it my own. And look, no one could even guess that I made a mistake right there. Now, for the rest of this, I am speeding it up over the video so that you don't have to sit here for forever. Let's see what happens on the not to do side. Am I planning for this one? Nope, I'm going straight in because I don't care. If I am not planning, I might draw something I don't like. Let's find out. I drew a person here and I wanted to add another one, but there is not enough space. And I'm even trying to draw clothes and it doesn't work because I didn't plan ahead of time. Notice how I'm also using letters and words. We'll see at the end why that's maybe not a good idea. And I'm adding on maybe like a dog here. But we'll see. My drawing on this one isn't really quite as good as my other drawing. But let's get back on what to do. Step number 2, we want to go over top all of the lines that you originally drew. This is very important, and you'll see why at the end. But I am taking my pen, and I am drawing exactly over top all of those lines again, making sure to press really hard into the styrofoam. Do you see how the lines that I am drawing on the second time are much darker, are much thicker? Do you see how the lines go into the styrofoam? Let's see what that looks like from another perspective. When I make my pen go on top, the lines that I drew over make the pen go deep into the styrofoam. Now, I don't want to make you sit here and watch me do the whole thing in real time. So I sped the video up. But remember, you should move through this process really slow. I'm going over every single line, making sure that it is a deep, deep line. Did I forget something? Yes! There. Now, let's see what not to do. I'm just finishing my drawing and not going over the lines. What I did the first time is what will happen. All right. Now, step 3. Next, I need to add details. When we print, everywhere that you draw is going to be blank, like the paper. And everywhere that you do not draw is going to have ink. The more detail you add, the more lines you add, the better your drawing will look. Basically, this means that you want to have drawings on top of most of the surface. As you can see, I'm making sure each of my lines is really, really strong, drawing on top of each one over and over again. I'm adding different textures, different shapes in all of the blank space to make my drawing more interesting. You can do this in many, many different ways. This is what makes your art really creative. Last, I'm making some of my lines a little thicker. Which do you think is better? Okay, so let's look at the next step. You're gonna start with about this much ink, okay? See how it's just like a couple inches, and you're going to roll your brayer up and down and back and forth across the ink. You wanna do this a bunch of times until the entire thing is coated, and then you're going to roll it on top of your artwork. Notice how it is sticking to the areas that are empty, and it is not sticking to the areas that we drew. You are just going to roll back and forth until everything is covered. Then I get a piece of paper, and I'm going to carefully put this on top of the whole thing and press it down with my hands. I am rubbing on top to make sure all of the paint is getting stuck to the paper, even using a very clean brayer on top. When I think I'm ready, I'm going to pull it off and first one never really works. You just got to get it used to having the ink. So let's try again. Let's see here. We are about to get some more ink on our brayer. You want to get lots of ink back and forth, back and forth. And you are going to cover the entire surface. You want it to be a nice, even, flat layer. Up and down, diagonal and forward. Then, I might even reuse a piece of paper that I've already used, and I am pressing on top the same exact way, using my clean brayer to roll on top, to press down and get all of that paint. And when I peel off my paper, yay, it worked! Look how awesome! All right, let's see on the one that we made about what not to do. Now, I'm actually going to print it correctly here, except for I'm only doing one try. I'm getting ink on top of my roller, and I'm going back and forth until everything is coated. This is how you want to coat the whole surface. Every corner, up and down, up and down. I'm getting a piece of paper, and I'm going to press it on top. Now again, this time this is my first try, and we're just going to take it as it is. Let's see how it turned out. Not so good. Let's compare the two. What do you notice? What do you notice about these two? What do you notice happened to the words, to the lines, to the picture? All right, happy printmaking!